Hey everyone, welcome to the Great British Mickey Waffle. This episode you're about to hear is a re-release of one of our absolute favourite episodes, originally dropped back in February 2021. At the time, we were sitting at home dreaming about the magic and mapping out what the ultimate Disney Skyliner Bar Crawl would look like. Completely theoretical and pure wishful thinking. So this was just a few months before we were able to finally get back to Walt Disney World and hop on the Skyliner and put our hypothetical pub crawl to the actual test. So listening back now, it's so much fun to hear what we actually thought it was going to be like versus what we did when we got back to the parks. So grab your favourite drink, kick back and take a ride down memory lane with us as we map out the ultimate Skyliner pub crawl. Enjoy the show. Hello everyone, I'm Ben, and welcome to the February edition of the Great British Mickey Waffle. As we all know, I'm not trusted to host the show on my own, so I'm joined by Becca.
Hello.
Claire.
Hello.
John.
Hiya, Ben. I think you're more than trusted to host the show.
Are you sure?
Okay.
Bye, John.
I do.
Okay, Peter.
Hello.
And Jill.
Hello.
So how are we all doing today?
Good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Yeah, great.
Did we all get the snow that we were promised last week?
Yep. We will.
A tiny amount.
We got a little bit.
Tiny bit.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that February early summer that we were promised, because they get the forecast wrong so much. I'm sure there's a heat wave just around the corner, just after Valentine's Day, something like that. Quite nice.
It's in lockdown and it'll be 30 degrees.
Yeah, let's just make your own forecast up.
It's all right.
So,
February brings the Six Nations tournament, and therefore all is fine. We'll be able to get through because we're going to have some some multinational rugby.
Okay.
That'll get me through February.
It'll get you through the month.
Yeah.
I worked the Six Nations last time at where I work, and the cafe that I work in is very near the stadium.
Mm.
And it was busy. I mean,
Yeah.
busy.
I think we're all dreaming of that first day when we can get back to Disney. So as we mentioned on our live show last month, we're looking for that Disney fix, and we hope that we'll be able to provide some escape today. So Disney in 2019 launched a new mode of transportation. Can anyone guess what it was?
A bus. A new monorail.
A boat.
An aeroplane.
Powered scooters.
Segway.
That'd be so much fun. Like Mario Kart around Disney World. The tracks, the roads are just like the track. It'd be awesome.
I think that's called the Tomorrowland Speedway.
Yeah.
It's a replacement. Segway.
Yeah.
A
That'd be great.
brand new highway in the sky.
Yay. Rent a skateboard.
And I've got tell you one thing, Ben. I've got to say I was the most cynical one when I was actually watching this thing being built. Firstly, because it spoiled loads of really good photos, because there was it's just monstrous sort of metal
Huge holes, just
Spikes coming out the ground.
and actually, and secondly, I felt it was just a waste of money while they were building it, and I actually and once again, thankfully, I've been proved wrong.
But yeah, if anyone noticed,
Agree with you.
if anyone hadn't noticed, we are talking about the Skyliner.
Welcome aboard the Disney Skyliner at Epcot International Gateway. We're flying to Disney's Riviera Resort with a final stop at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort.
So we've been set a challenge by one of our listeners, and we're going to attempt a Skyliner crawl. So virtually, of course. So we're going to do a tour of all the resorts along the Skyliner route. So you don't need to worry about if you're afraid of heights. It's all virtual. So
Oh, good.
we'll start from Hollywood Studios, where we've just been on Rise of the Resistance. What do we all think?
Cool.
I thought it was amazing.
Surprised to get a boarding group.
I know, we were up at 7 a.m. this morning just to get the app.
That's all right.
Thank you for doing that, Ben.
That's all right, you're welcome.
Even Teen Wemp is happy with that one.
Even the drop at the end.
Yeah, it's not a real drop, is it?
No, it's not like Tower of Terror.
Spoiler.
Okay, so we've done Rise of Resistance, and we'll end our evening in Epcot, where we might even see a soft opening for Ratatouille.
Mm.
Mm.
He's got high hopes.
But you never know.
We might
Okay,
find,
right.
we might even find Sammy.
Over there.
Might find Sammy in one of the pavilions around World Showcase.
I doubt it.
No, that's why Sammy's not here. She's actually already in Epcot.
He's on her way to Epcot.
No. No.
Okay,
Not happening.
so the first resort, so we've left Hollywood Studios. So we've got a Ronto wrap and a blue milk in hand. So we've already started. So, and our first resort is going
I
to
want green milk.
be, you want green milk. Okay.
There's always one.
There's always one that goes,
I was trying
Always
to
done.
run on to the fan. I want to
Yeah, so, man, I was off to I went to the Baseline Tap House in.
And I'm with Todd.
We.
Yes.
Yeah.
I may.
Well, yes.
I just
I'm not
that's to be done, 'cause I'm going to start the day. I'm treating this like drinking around the world, you know.
okay,
So
Yeah.
just bear in mind this is drinkage of.
yeah.
I never say no to charcuterie plates, so yeah.
This is what we get to Epcot, John. You're going to carry on each pavilion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
So you're going to carry me into each pavilion round Epcot.
this is going to be fun. So, and yeah, our first resort is Caribbean Beach. So, who would like to go first? I'm going to pick on Jill.
Okay. Well, I had a look at what was open at the moment and what the menus were because I've not got a previous experience of Caribbean Beach. So I have gone to the Banana Cabana Lounge and I've got some loaded potato fries. Now that sounds a bit boring, but they are loaded with something called cotilla, which I have no idea what that is, but it's obviously something
Sounds interesting.
Latin American-y, and fresh pico de gallo, which is like spicy tomato chili something or other, isn't it? I think. Yeah. Caribbean style chili. So that does sound a bit more interesting than just loaded fries. And to drink, I'm having Minute Maid premium lemonade with strawberry puree. Because I think that will be nice and refreshing if the chili gets a bit hot.
Okay, that's quite nice. How about you, Peter?
Right, I'm also going to Banana Cabana Lounge, although not having any bananas, of course. I'm going to have the chili con queso, which is Caribbean-style chili with pimento cheese, pico de gallo, and fried tortillas, which is just chili, cheese, and tortillas, but what the heck, it sounds nice. And I'm having a peach coma to drink, which is a fruity mixture of orange, lemon, and peach topped with soda water. So I'm saving the alcohol for later, I think. It's a bit early in the morning, that.
Okay. Claire, I'm going to have to go to you next because I know what's going to be on your list.
Oh, okay. So
It's going to be something alcoholic.
yes, of course. We're not. I didn't realise this was like a virgin crawl down the. I can't be doing that. If I'm going up on heights, then I need a drink. It's very simple because I don't do heights. I'm actually going to Banana Cabana with Peter and Jill. We're sitting in a lounge, and on my list, I actually had both of those food items. So I was going to have the loaded fries and the chili con queso because they're both side items. So I was going for both. So that's fine. We can stick them in the middle and share. This is a friendly thing. But to drink, I am having a Kraken Punch, which is the Kraken spiced rum with blood orange sour liqueur and then pomegranate and orange juice. Thank you very much. Ooh, drink it too.
Very nice. How about you, John?
Right, I really like I love the look of the Spyglass Grill and the patio overlooking Barefoot Bay. And if it was there early enough, the pineapple banana pancakes, or if it was lunchtime, the chorizo burger, they just sound great. But it's short, so I'm left with a choice of joining your Banana Cabana, or I'm going to the main food court for something different. And it's in the Centretown Market, and I'm going for the pizza slice, which sounds really sort of dead ordinary, doesn't it? But actually, I think it's worth sharing with people that there's a lot of these places that do the pizza slices, and they actually do a full pizza as well. But it just reminded me of a time we were at Port Orleans Riverside, and we had a bit of a nightmare because we were on the dining plan. Both the kids went in, they ordered themselves lovely pizza each, and then we got to the checkout, and they explained the fact that that's not on the dining plan. For what, it was going to cost you 2 tablespoon credits, 2 credits for a full pizza. And I tried to explain to kids, let's cut that. But thankfully, cast members they'd obviously had this happen a lot of times before. And I must admit, there's somebody locally, Simon, who listens to all of our shows and watches us live as well. But he turned around and he'd warned us before. about this and said, just don't go for the full pizza. So pizza slice is on the dining plan, and pizza slice I don't mind paying for myself. So I'm going nice and ordinary on that one, but it's just maybe worth people recognising the fact that don't get caught out like I did. But for the drink, I'm going to start with something that nobody would expect.
Ooh, no. That sounds...
Yeah, I'm starting
Do we
on
have
the
to
wine.
guess?
No,
I'm,
that's on the wine.
I'm starting on the wine.
Woohoo, really? Ooh. A nice breakfast on Sarah, is it then?
I think so, because they actually sell in this place. They sell the Coppola Pinot Grigio, and it's the same Francis Ford Coppola, right, from Godfather fame.
Okay.
And not only is he good at making good films, but actually his wine is superb. And I bought a bottle of it from the supermarket, admittedly not at the glass price that Disney charge, but that's my first. That's going to set me on the way nicely, I think.
You can't refuse, John.
I think so, and it's the only place that I've actually found that sells it on the homework side of looking at where we're going on our trip.
And are they serving it by the glass? Can you buy it by the glass, or do you have to buy the bottle?
No, you buy by the glass.
That's a shame.
Well, we just go for a bottle and a couple of straws.
But that's the thing. We didn't need to get a drink at every stop. We could just got a bottle and just like Skyliner, just go round.
Yeah. We just set ourselves up for something. Just wait. I wait till later on in the show. I tell you, I've got an absolute corker of a cocktail that I found. It's just like, yeah. Well, wait. I've done my homework for this show.
Okay.
Beware. That's always a bad thing.
How about you, Becca?
So I am going to start off with John in the Centretown Marketplace. I'm going for a sweet though. I'm going to grab the key lime tart, which is a graham cracker crust, meringue and tropical sauce with a white chocolate ganache. No, not a white chocolate ganache. Sorry, I'm reading my notes wrong. Just a chocolate ganache. And then I am going to move over to Banana Cabana and meet the others, and I'm going to have a crack and punch with Claire. Because I thought that sounded really, really yummy.
Yeah. Well, I've gone slightly different for my selection. So you can call this cheating if you like, but for my drink, I thought I'm not going to get the alcohol in straight away, so I'm going to go for a soft drink. But I'm going to get a Skyliner refillable mug. So at every stop, I can have an extra drink.
Cheater.
Yeah. So I don't have to, so a little balance. I don't have to drink out. I can get alcohol in every stop as well as a soft drink.
Because
hydration at the end of the day.
It is the thing. You could get stuck up on a Skyliner for a little while.
Even better, we can share it.
Oh, you were going to say even better. We can use it. We can use it when we get stuck and need the bathroom. Is what I thought you were going to say.
How much are you drinking?
Yeah.
I hate
How much are you
talking about bathrooms again. Bathrooms again.
It's you with the refillable mug, Ben. You're the one who's going to have an issue.
Okay, and my food option, this was at Centretown Market, was the Cuban sandwich. I thought just something nice, something different after a nice Wonto wrap. So,
cool.
Okay. So I think we've all sort of had some food and drink from Caribbean Beach. So I think our next stop is Art of Animation. So who would like to go first?
Okay, I'll go first again.
Yeah.
I have to say that it is worth remembering that back in the Baseline Tap House at Hollywood Studios, I did have a glass of wine with my charcuterie plates. So I'm not being quite as pure as a driven snow as you might think. But at Art of Animation, I'm going to Landscape of Flavors, and I am going to have a mermaid tail cupcake. And this is a vanilla cupcake filled with pineapple and topped with coconut buttercream, a white chocolate mermaid tail, graham cracker crumb, crispy pearls, and glitter. And to wash all that down, I'm going to have a good strong Joffrey's latte.
Very nice. How about you, Peter?
I'm going to leave my wife in the cafe and I'm going to the pub. I'm going to a drop-off pool bar and I'm just going to chill round the pool with some cheese curls and a Captain's pineapple, which is Captain's Morgan spice rum and pineapple soft serve.
Can't complain with some ice cream.
Just chill. Just chill.
It's a warm Florida day and we've been stuck on the Skyliner for a little while.
Absolutely.
All of the 2 minutes it takes to get from Caribbean
That is
Beach to
true.
arrive.
Yeah, but
This is the perfect day, remember? There is no stopping. No getting stuck on the Skyliner.
no, that is true.
So that Claire doesn't have to have a panic attack.
And no getting off at the wrong stop like I did in 2019 when Riviera wasn't yet open. But
Okay.
the Skyliner was.
And did they shout at you, Ben?
No, they just said, "Where am I going?" And I literally thought I was at Caribbean Beach because when you in the Skyliner, they don't tell you where you've arrived; they tell you where you've been. So I'd left Epcot, and it was like, what languages did you learn today? And you just go over like the Ratatouille construction, and it's like and tells you where you're sort of heading to, but it just talks about everything on that line. So it will talk about sort of Caribbean Beach, Riviera, but it doesn't tell you in order. So it doesn't tell you you've arrived at here. So that was interesting.
The test, then you got to
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah, but the other side as well, though, Ben. I'm sure your concentration will be taken because actually the little sound that they make before the announcement, and there is the Spanish version. It's nowhere near as sort of catchy as the monorail one, but the sound before the announcement it's so much like Star Tours.
Yeah.
It's just like Star Tours, and when you're thinking you've got on something. I'm on Star Tours. You might be thinking, am I going to get the one with Chewbacca? Am I going to get the ride with?
Am I going to be the rebel spy?
Yeah. It's like the concentration goes to part. So I'm totally with you there, Ben. I think it's a concentration thing. I think.
Yeah. I think I showed a bit of a lapse in concentration, but I will put that video in. It will appear on our YouTube channel at some point very soon.
Okay.
So yeah. So
you get shouted at.
oh yeah, not shouted, just asked where I was going. So yeah,
I've seen the footage. They were very polite about it.
I think they were just confused because like, why are you getting off?
Why are you getting off and you've not got a hard hat on? There'd be some health and safety spot. He'd be having a meltdown, wouldn't they? It was just
On a clipboard, just like walking around like.
I think it might have been the camera that made them ask.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was probably trying to sneak in. That's what I probably thought.
Oh, we can't do that.
Yeah. No, not at all. So yeah, and Claire, how about you?
So, Art of Animation is not a resort I've ever been to. So, I'm going to go to Landscape of Flavours because it seems to be sort of the central point. To eat, I'm going to have an Asian chicken bowl, which is the Mongolian stir-fried chicken with broccoli. Sorry, Becca, it's got peppers in it. And served on jasmine rice because that sounds like something different. It's not fried. It's, an actual cooked meal that's not come out of a deep fat fryer, which sounds quite nice. A bit of a change. And then to drink, there are 2 or 3 beers that I really, really like and find hard to buy in the UK. Blue Moon is one of them. So I love a Blue Moon with the orange squished slice in the top. So yeah, I'm gonna have a big Blue Moon.
Sounds very nice. How about you, John?
Yeah, we've stayed at Art of Animation, and it's an amazing place. It really is. Just for the theming, and I've got to say, if anybody is listening to this, you've never been to Art of Animation, and you want to, the Skyliner is actually much better at actually getting access to it rather than going in your car and telling the guy at the gate that you've just come for a look round. Because actually, that probably in this day and age that doesn't go down too well, does it? But there is a limited number of places that actually serve food and drink, and like Peter said, the drop off pool bar is very much sort of the place to go for a pub drink, and the Landscape of Flavours actually is one of the best food courts that you could actually find. It offers so much, certainly more than Old Key West and Saratoga. It's basically in view of quick service offerings. The current menu doesn't serve some of the amazing soups that we actually enjoyed, which is a real pity. And I think even looking at that now, I would actually go and speak to somebody really nicely and ask with my most polite British tones if somebody could just rustle up either the clam chowder or the chicken noodle soup that we actually enjoyed on our stay was divine. It was absolutely perfect. So I would go and ask for that, and if they hadn't got it, I would be politely British, and I wouldn't throw my toys out of the pram, and I would just go on the fact that I've already scrammed enough at the studios and Caribbean Beach already, so I'd just go for like the turkey sandwich that they had. But the soup in there is to die for. It really is. And it's not often you find places in America that do a good soup, but they do an amazing soup. And the one thing I did notice that's maybe worth sharing with everybody, just because one of the things when you ask to go and look at menus, and I don't usually scroll all the way down, and from the Art of Animation and all the other places that we're going to stop at, they've actually eked out all of the allergy menus, which to me was, it's a real surprise, because to find this as a planning tool for anybody. But they've got, you go beyond the kids menu, they've got the most incredible number, and I did put them down somewhere and I can't find them, but needless to say, they've got gluten-free, they've got fat-free, they've got milk, and they've got a whole lot of it. And I thought, do you know something? That really, if you do have a food issue, I think now at any of the Disney hotels, they've actually got it in hand. And I think that's a real thing for anybody making plans for the future to be really reassured about, because I think in the past it's always been a case that they'll go and speak to the server, who'll speak to the chef, who'll speak to somebody else. And actually, you want to know that you're going to be able to eat in these places. So there are options for people, and I thought that was really superb.
What I was going to say is that it means that even if you've got an allergy, you can use mobile order as well, because those things are within the app. So it means that you're not having to queue up when everyone else could order ahead and just collect. If you had an allergy before, you couldn't do that. So it means it's quicker, and it's easier if you do have a dietary requirement that means you have to go off the normal menu.
Yeah.
And also if you're planning so quite far in advance as well, if they go back to 180 days for when you're looking at dining, and you get to look at the sort of menus and see what ones you'd prefer. You don't have to wait till the day.
Yeah.
To then go, oh, I'm not going to be able to eat there, or I should have gone somewhere else.
I think part of it's probably because they're encouraging people to use mobile order now. So they need to have it up there for those that...
And I think as well, I think over the years, and I think it's taken them a long time to latch onto a lot of this, over the years, they haven't particularly catered that well. It's got better, probably. Certainly in the past 5 years, it's become much more prevalent, and they've become much more accommodating. And I think that must be so reassuring to anybody who's trying to eat in these places. But I'm going to finish. I'll finish with my drink.
Okay.
My drink in here is the one that probably people have expected me to start with. I'm going for an Angry Orchard cider, and it's going to be a real nice cider that I'm going to be able to take. In fact, I thought what I could do. Ben mentioned about those the refillable mugs, and there's now Star Wars refillable mugs that you can actually trade in your free one if you're staying on Disney, and you can trade your free one in instead of get that as part of your package. It costs you another $10, obviously, but for $29.99 or something, there's a Star Wars refillable mug, and it's one of those ones. It's a proper one. It's got stainless steel in the middle, so quite nice one. A nice one. It promises it'll stay warm for 12 hours and stay cold for the rest of your life or whatever, But
depends what happens in Florida, because if it's warm, it's going to stay warm anyway.
Yeah, no angelic people.
I'm with it. Yeah.
But I thought that was quite a nice one, and I'm a bit of a sucker for Star Wars merch and stuff. So yeah, so I'll maybe I'll put my cider in there so we can have it. We can have it on the Skyliner, and people will just think I'm drinking me refillable mug.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah, there we go.
How about you, Becca?
So I am starting off at Landscape of Flavours, picking up the cookies and cream sundae cupcake, which is a chocolate cupcake topped with cookies and cream, buttercream, rainbow sprinkles and chocolate ears. And then I'm going to go and meet Peter at the drop-off pool bar and grab a Big Blue Ocean, which is Savida... sorry, well, I'm not going to bother saying the name. It's vodka, rum... a Boss Blue.
Have a go.
It's like, por favor, manténgase alejado de las
Gone Becca.
Red cut vodka, Bacardi Superior Rum, Bols Blue Curacao, and Minute Maid Lemonade with a miniature glow cube.
Are you going to get a job there telling people how it's pronounced?
No!
Like one of these.
My ability to pronounce
Is this why you'd send me to the bar?
words in English is bad enough.
I think you might find by the time you finish drinking it, you found it much easier to say.
Hopefully.
Oh, do
Wow.
you know something, Becca? I think Ben
I just want the glow cube.
is onto something. Listeners to turn around to us and say, who gets sent to the bar? I want to know, because I'm the guy who gets sent to the bar. And I don't ask for anything. I'll have one of them blues. Make sure
You like it, the menu when you point to it, and that's it. I was doing it when we've been like Mexican restaurant, or there's just something you can't pronounce. It's like, I'll have one of them.
Yeah.
It's easier. Okay, so it's down to me now. So Art of Animation, I'm going to refill my refillable mug. Not sure what I'm going to have, but I know you've got this vitamin water. Quite nice, keep me going. So
Look, find another one then.
what, another refillable mug?
No, a different drink.
Well, I've
You
gone
say
for
you
something.
wanted tea.
There is something that is different that I've noticed on the menu, which is just for this month, and that is the Valentine's special wine and chocolate.
Yeah, I saw
And I
that.
thought, as it's the February show, that's what I'm going to go with. Something different.
Aw.
Oh,
Lucky
You
you,
might-
Becca.
Yeah.
there you go, Becca.
It's not a free ice cream this year. That's good.
All in virtual reality as well. Right. There's no end to it, Ben. I'm going to say.
You might even get two.
Well,
It's virtual. I'm not having to pay.
Promises, Becca. You know.
yeah.
You're not even having to pay. It's
Oh, it's
brilliant.
all right. There's wine over in the cupboard. All you've got to do is buy the box of chocolates.
I feel
Because
really
in
bad.
on Christmas.
I feel really bad now because I'm. It's Valentine's and I'm not with my wife. I'm in the pub.
Yes, that's quite typical, isn't it? Just for people in general.
Well, so we've all finished Art of Animation. We don't need to get a Skyliner to go to our next stop. We just take the gentle walk over to Pop Century. Yeah.
Yes.
Go on, then, Jill.
Yeah, well, I will go to Everything Pop, which is the food court, shopping and dining quick service. And I think there's only one thing that I can order from here, which is the tie-dye cheesecake. And I couldn't find the description, but I've seen photos. It's cheesecake, but it's tie-dye. It's really, really brilliant colors. It looks amazing. It looks really nice. And to drink, I'm going to have a raspberry lemonade slush because it's probably quite hot by now, so it'll cool me down.
Is the cheesecake like the same colour as Peter's shirt? For anyone who can't see this, you can watch this on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, this
It's
shirt is
because-
actually from Ghana, so we should have saved it for when we're talking about Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, maybe I'll wear it then as well. Yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking. Actually, I'm going to kind of follow Becca in a way because at Everything Pop, I'm going to have a Mickey cupcake, which is chocolate cupcake topped with cookies and cream, buttercream, rainbow sprinkles, and Mickey ears. So that sounds really nice. And I'm going to follow that with a simple Joffrey's latte because, hey, cake and a coffee, you need it. You need
We
it.
sort of got a third stop on the Skyliner or the third resort. I'm like just flagging a little bit.
I'm not. I'm full of sugar.
You
And
can
this stuff isn't going to help that any.
you can run back to a Epcot.
Will be.
I was wondering whether Pop Century were one of those that had a secret menu, but I don't know whether they're still doing them.
I don't think they are. I think
That's what I was going to go for, but I'm not sure, so I went for the Mickey cupcake instead.
it was the one of the All Stars that've got the ones where you can. I think it was All Star Movies. Where you ask and they like supply you with like a sort of
I think
special
so,
bar. You find it.
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah. I don't think I'd have anything that was on that menu. What was it? The cinnamon bun burger. Bit different. But yeah, I don't think that would have been on my list. How about you, Claire?
Well, that was an interesting segue because at Pop, I've decided I'm going to nip to Everything Pop and pick up a cinnamon roll. I don't know if they're like the ones at Gaston's. I doubt they're quite that big, but a cinnamon roll is a cinnamon roll. Let's face it, they're all good. But then I'm going to scoot over to Petal's Pool Bar, and I'm assuming by this point it's probably 2-3 in the afternoon, so it's definitely time for a margarita. So I'm going to have the Sunshine Margarita, which is the one with Cointreau, sweet and sour, and orange and lime juice. Thank you very much. Whoever's going to the bar, Ben.
Okay, I can do that. How about you, John?
Ben's paying at this rate. I'll tell you one thing. I'm actually tempted. I'm really tempted. If we're going to walk from out of animation to pop, I'm tempted to keep walking out a little bit further and just nip into McDonald's. just for the simple fact that we can get Sammy some nuggets, right? So that'll keep Sammy quite good.
I think they do nuggets at everything pop.
Yeah, but also I'm not paying the price for a burger that Pop are charging for the burger. I'm going to McDonald's because actually it's about a quarter of the price. So there you go. But that's me being tight because I'm like that. And actually, I would say the choice in here is actually really limited at the moment. And I've got to say, if I did manage to get that chowder out of animation, I'd either just go for a donut in here or dill pickle in a pouch.
What? That's wrong. Every possible way.
It just sprung out of the menu from me.
I'm just going to have a quick look at the menu. Where are we? Century.
It's just like
that isn't a thing.
Pickle.
It is.
Not going to be in a pouch. He's going to be in one of them plastic wrap things.
What sort of a pouch?
That's what I was thinking, Claire. I just thought.
This leaves. It sounds like you got. A dill pickle in a sporrid or something. What's going on?
It's one of those.
One of those?
Yeah, I've seen one of the. I'm going to share the screen.
Yeah.
What?
Ben's going to share his dill pickle in a pouch.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It just looks so good, doesn't it? It just that's at least 20. That's at least 20 of your 5 a day.
That's wrong on so many levels.
And it does. But I tell you what a great choice. Imagine the fun you're going to get with 2 teenage kids.
Can you imagine the smell when you open the plastic?
No, it's just going to be that. It's going to be like opening. It's just going to be like opening the Gherkins at home, isn't it?
No,
ranting all the time. Anyway, that's why they get 1 or 2 of them on a McDonald's burger, because otherwise they'll just take over the whole smell of McDonald's, wouldn't they?
John, when we get back on the Skyliner, I am not sitting next to you. He's in his own. He's in his own bucket. He's not coming with us.
What would you expect? He's the one with the space, so like one cabin, and it could be the next one.
Yeah,
like John, you can go on first. We'll wait a little while.
Yeah.
You're just going to disown me altogether when I go for the drink.
Completely.
We'll catch up at Epcot.
So yeah, with my pouch,
pickle.
For anyone that is listening to this,
I'm then off to the pool. They sell something there that's the same that they've got a Caribbean Beach, right? And they do an iced tea, right? They sell it in Banana Cabana at Caribbean Beach, right? And I have no idea of whether it's got any ice in it or any tea in it, right? Because the actual list of its contents just sounds incredible, right? You ready for this, right?
Yep.
Vodka, Bacardi, gin, tequila, Cointreau, and sweet and sour with Coca-Cola. If I can walk back to the Skyliner, I'm singing all the way to Riviera.
I think it's one of those ones where they show it with a Coke at the end. They just like a tiny dribble. Splash. Just a little Coke splash.
Yeah. Spoiler with a Coke. That's just that. And they call it iced tea. I'm like, no way.
It's like a Long Island iced tea, I guess. Yeah.
I tell you, that's
you want to look after your pickle after you've drunk that.
I'll tell you, my pickle would be non-existent because I'd be I'll be singing. I'm singing. I'm done for after that. I don't like the spirit. I'll be stuck.
I'm on Disney Food Blog, and you type in dill pickle, and guess what comes up?
Pickle in a pouch.
Please don't say it's pickle in a pouch.
No.
Christmas pickle?
Dill pickle popcorn.
Ew.
No.
That's wrong.
To be fair, anything pickle is wrong in my head.
Disneyland pickle.
I've done it again. They have fried pickles, don't they?
Pickle.
Pickles.
Unless you Google stuff, you get recipes.
When Lloyd gets to this bit, who cut that segment up where I just said, is even funnier than the first one again.
Okay, another recipe: easy bacon wrapped pickle.
We've got sweet, salty, and sour there, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a very Chinesey thing, salty and sour.
Can't beat a bacon wrapped pickle.
Can we move on?
Better.
Okay, how about you, Becca?
So
We're still at Pop Century.
we're still at Pop Century, I think.
Oh, wait, okay.
Oh,
And I am going to grab the tie-dye cheesecake, same as Jill, because, wasn't really anything else I fancied. And then I'm going to pop over to the Petals Pool Bar, and I'm going to have the blueberry lemonade, which is 3 olives, blueberry vodka, that Bowls Blue Crocker thingamabob that was in the last drink, Minute Maid, premium lemonade with juices of lemon and pomegranate topped with Sprite.
I love that thing that was in the
That
last
thing
one.
that was in the last one that I couldn't pronounce 10 minutes ago.
The thing that sounded a bit like the monorail announcement.
Con normally tankers and I had under las patas.
There we go. Okay.
Can
So
say that.
you've got the monorail in the drink. So sounds quite
can you
nice.
say
Actually.
that after you finish that drink, though? This is the question.
No.
Yeah.
I couldn't say it before.
Don't know. It might help. Okay. Well, Sammy couldn't be with us tonight. So I've decided to go for chicken strips.
Yeah.
So someone has to have nuggets or chicken strips or sort of. And to go along with that, I'm going to have the Angry Orchard crisp apple hard cider.
Mm.
And I've sent it a refill my mug.
Yeah. Nice.
So I can't decide whether I'm going to drink the cider first or keep that later for the Skyliner on the trip to Riviera.
Mm.
So decisions depends how long we're going to stay at Pop Century for.
Yes, okay.
Okay. So we're all finishing out Pop Century, so we're going to hop back on the Skyliner and go to Riviera. So one of the newest resorts to Disney. It is the newest resort. There wasn't that much open, I think. What was it? When I looked, I can't remember. I think all of the food places were open at Riviera.
Open,
It
but
was
they're
one
not
of
all selling
the full menu.
their full menus.
No, there's not. It's not a huge choice. Even Topolino's choice was slimmed down.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Jill? What are you having at Riviera?
Well, yeah, this is where we're going to cheat a bit because yes, we could have gone to the quick service, which is Primo Piatto, but we have decided that when you have a resort that looks as beautiful as Riviera and a restaurant that has such a good reputation as Topolino's Terrace, it would be wrong to miss it out. So we are going to share a main course and share a dessert and work it out that way. So we're going for herb fettuccine to share, and that has manila clams, mussel, squid, vino blanco, lemon, and pesto genovese. So that sounds yum. And to drink, I'm going to have a pomegranate paradiso, which is figenza vodka, pomegranate, lemon, and pineapple. So there's at least 4 of you find a day in there. See?
Okay, moving on to me. I'm going to share a dessert with Jill, obviously. And we're having the fruits of the forest, which is a blackcurrant mousse, blueberry sorbet, macerated berries, hibiscus cake. I'm going to have that to share. I love the taste of hibiscus. Hibiscus is wonderful. And for my drink, I'm going to go with the whole hog and have a champagne cocktail, which is Moët Chandon Imperial Brut, Aperol. I'm having a Becca moment here. Arno Antica Formula Vermouth. There you go.
Very
so that's
nice.
it. I love champagne cocktail.
Yeah.
So hopefully, as today's like our perfect day, so fireworks would be happening while you're out on sort of Topolino's Terrace, or
Yeah, that'd be great. Yes. Fireworks with the champagne cocktail. Very nice.
Yeah. How about you, Claire?
So I chose at Riviera. I struggled with the menu at Topolino's. There wasn't a huge amount on that menu that really interested me. So I've decided I'm going to go to Le Petit Cafe and snag a cheese plate and a charcuterie plate and sit there and enjoy them. out. The inside of the cafe is really cute. It's all tiled. It looks like a little Parisian cafe. So some nice comfy banquette seating. So I'm going to sit there. And to drink, I'm going to have what is my favourite cocktail of all cocktails. I will always choose this if it's on offer, and I'm going to have a nice classic Negroni. So short and salty and a little bit sour for me. Funnily enough, I don't do sweet. I don't really do sweet drinks, or like I would always choose savoury over sweet. So.
How about you, John?
I should have gone before Claire, and then I could have nicked her ideas rather than nicking mine.
Well, you can come with me. We can sit together.
Well, do you know something, Claire? I as much as Topolino's really just ticks every single box of somewhere you want to eat, it really does. And this time, I'm going to go I'm going to go down to Le Petit Cafe, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat. I'm going to get it. I'm going to hop in the lift and go back up to Topolino's. Right, so we can join everybody else, right? Because I'm quite social like that, believe it or not, you know. But also the drinks list in Topolino's is amazing, right? Because these are the drinks I can't have because I've chosen something different. But they do a really lovely Moretti Rossa, which is absolutely as a Moretti is beautiful, and I think for them to be selling that up there is superb. But they did a hard sparkling water, right? Hard sparkling water with a 5% alcohol volume. Now, if somebody wants to write in and tell me how you can have hard water.
Think of hard water where we live.
Hard cider, yeah, I can deal that. That differentiates between the fact that it's like cider that the American cider people decide that it's just like basically apple juice that's fizzy. But hard water is a new one on me, I've got to say. And I just thought...
Are scaling?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do water. But there you go. But the drink I am going to have, and I'm going to go for another cider, is a French one, which is Domaine de Pont, which is a dry hard cider. It comes highly recommended. I did actually go and look it up, and it sounds absolutely superb. It's $14, which takes it into the champagne and wine sort of category, and that's before tax. And my only thought is, I just hope it's actually as good as it actually sounds and as it's been recommended. But that'd be my choice there.
Cool. Sounds very nice.
Yeah.
So I like them all sort of ending up at Topolino's, maybe for fireworks, maybe.
Oh, I've got to be done.
Hopefully they'll let me in because I'm not got any food or drink from Topolino's.
Let's just gate crash it, Becca. It'll be all right.
Just start talking and just saying you'd like this drink, and they'll just think.
They'll let us buy a drink at the bar. It won't be, but they're never going to say no. Don't give us your money.
Yeah,
this is Disney.
That's true. Wave your DVC card, they'll let you in.
Yeah, they might do. So I'm actually breaking tradition a little bit. So not only am I buying my food and drink from the same place, but I'm not having something sweet and I'm not having alcohol.
And you can pronounce it.
Yeah, and I should be able to pronounce it. Oh, it's good. So for my food, I'm going to have the baked brie in puff pastry with a fruit preserves and grilled sourdough. See, I can pronounce all of that.
Sorry, Becca.
What am I working with? For my drink, I'm going to have the frosty blood. No crap.
Frosties.
Did you say?
There's going to be something I'm going to struggle with pronouncing. Yeah, I'm going to have the frosty blood orange granita, which is a frozen blend of blood orange and orange juice.
Yeah. Guy behind the bar says they're out of that. What else did you do?
I haven't got a second on my list.
One of the blue things. Give us one of those blue things again.
Okay. So
if you're really lucky, we'd actually have him. One of them light. You can have one of them light up Buzz Lightyears on the side if you want. Yeah.
Well, no, my third drink came with a glow cube.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect.
Okay, so
Ben, what about you?
difficult. There was so much choice at Riviera that has been on our list for a while, because obviously we tried to stay there twice last year, and just every time we've looked at the menus, gone, I want that, and unfortunately none of it's on there, or hardly any of it's on there now.
Yeah.
So I've decided to go for the sausage and pepperoni pizza from Primo Piatto. So I thought it'd be quite nice, and then I can take that up in the lift and join everyone else at Topolino's, and I'm going to try a Euro Manhattan.
What's one of those?
Annoyingly, I forgot to copy the description. So I will just find... Have you got it, Claire?
I bet it's more than got it here. It's Gentleman Jack whiskey, Amaro Averna, Coke, aromatic, and orange bitters.
Are you feeling all right?
Yeah, sounded quite interesting.
I'm not carrying him back down to Epcot. Tell you.
I've got your
That's
right.
Ben's going to be singing in Epcot.
Because I only had 2 drinks.
You don't
There's
know
still
what's
time.
in the... You still don't know what's in the...
Refillable cup. It's that hard water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant. Right. Okay, so we've finished Riviera. So we've said goodbye, and we've jumped on the sort of Skyliner to Epcot. So we're going back to Epcot, and unfortunately, we've missed the chance to ride Ratatouille. So one good
It's
thing,
all right. We've all ridden it in Paris anyway.
positive thing is some of the walls have been removed, and there is a creperie.
Ooh, so we can go and have that crepe.
Yep, and right
I like
next to the creperie is a new set of restrooms, so we can go for a quick crepe in Epcot. France.
Even better. So,
Oh, that's a shame, because I was thinking of going to the Rose and Crown, you see, in Epcot.
Yeah.
Because not that I could probably manage the sausage roll and chips or the fish and chips by this point, but I was rather fancying a Welsh dragon.
Well, no. I so desperately wanted to say when I married one that
I know, I was waiting for it, Peter. I thought you were going to say, and so am I. Instead, you spoiled it completely. Has anyone actually tried a Welsh dragon?
no, I've seen
No.
a couple of people order them. I must
Here's
say.
peach schnapps, melon liqueur, creme de menthe, orange juice, and pineapple juice served in a souvenir cup. Wow.
We've never been to Rose and
Yeah.
Crown.
I've not been to dinner. I've only been in the bar.
No, not
Yeah.
Funny enough.
I've got to say, I actually feel that it'd be really appropriate for us all to gather there, as it will be the only pub in the whole of the UK that opens at the start of February in 2021. And I'm going to finish with a pint of Guinness, and just in case somebody asks if I have to have a snack or a substantive meal, I think it was described, I'll have one of the Scotch eggs, because the Scotch eggs in the Rose and Crown are absolutely superb. Beautiful.
It is what you call a substantial meal, I think.
That's it. It is there.
Yeah.
It is
They
there.
are huge.
Do pork scratchings count as a substantial meal?
I haven't had anything proper for this whole thing, so I might grab the chicken tikka masala.
the only problem is that it's Bath beers, and I hate Bath beers. It's hard, so I would drink hard lager because, hey.
I don't know what else is on the menu at Rose
I
and
haven't
Crown.
looked at the drinks menu.
You can have it. I only ever have a Pimm's when I'm in there, because it's usually like 11:30 in the morning. It's awful. But if we go the wrong way round to the World Showcase, then it's like 11:30, and where other people are having pints, I can't do that. So
What
Pimm's
do
and
you
that type of
wrong
thing.
way round?
You know what I mean by the wrong way round. By going to Canada first, which is clearly, there is,
Incorrect.
you go left or you're wrong. So if you go the wrong way round, you can grab a Pimm's.
I wouldn't call it the wrong way around. It
And-
depends where you're heading to. If you're heading from Future World and you just want to go to the patisserie for breakfast,
I ain't walking through the rest of the
you can't
country.
walk. You can't go past Norway.
Not at 9 in the
Not 9
morning.
in the morning. You can't. You have to go the wrong way around.
Yeah, but the thing is though, Ben, if the Rose and Crown's open, you have to go in because they serve Strongbow, and you have to have a pint of Strongbow, irrespective. And I've met some of our listeners for a Strongbow at 11:30 in the morning. I'm not proud of the moment, but it was a lovely meeting. So I'll be in family. I'm really pleased that you managed to meet us there. But yeah, it's an early start, Claire, isn't it? And you've got to be careful.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah.
Just remember, it's only half an hour or 5 o'clock in the UK.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Somewhere.
And by the time we've got there, it's going to be like 6 in the evening.
That is true.
You can have as many Strongbows as you like.
So,
Well, that's how I was going to finish. I was going to finish the beginnings because it just thought it'd be quite a nice way to roll it all off with something quite nice.
okay, as we are in Epcot, I think it's a perfect time to announce our winner of last month's giveaway. So we put all of the entries into a virtual hat, and the winner of our retro Epcot mug is Shakil Ahmed. So thank you for writing such a lovely review, and we'll be in contact soon so we can send you your prize. So, have we all recovered from our Skyliner crawl, or do we need a bit of a break?
I'm still recovering from the review. It was such a lovely review, and I've got to say a big thank you because it was really touching, and it really is one of those things that when you read it back and you're thinking, we don't know what we're talking about. Just like you don't know what you're typing about when you do trip reports and stuff like that. So a big thank you. It is appreciated.
And a thank you to everyone who wrote a review for us, whether it's positive or negative. We like the feedback. It's nice to know that we're enjoying what we're producing.
Yeah,
and what we're talking about. So, yeah. So, with this Skyliner crawl, do you think we can recreate this next time we're in Walt Disney World?
Yes.
Probably, yes.
You never know. By the time we get there might be more options available.
Yeah.
Some more drink, more food, and it'll be quite good. So. So, over the past few shows, we've been focusing on various types of accommodation. So, that you'll be planning to book for your next time in Orlando, whenever that might be. We've covered DVC, on-site hotels, villas, and now it's for our final accommodation type, off-site. So, over to Claire as we take a look into what to look for and what to avoid when staying off-site.
Thanks, Ben. So, as a visitor to Orlando, looking at the prospect of a holiday to enjoy all the attractions and the entertainment available, I think most of us would be looking for the most cost-effective option available in accommodation. So for many people, that would be a hotel near the magic or near to the excitement of Universal, but perhaps just one step removed. So, in other words, the off-site hotel. There's a vast array of options available, and it can be fairly mind-blowing. And the distance that they span is huge. So if you look right at the north by Universal down to Kissimmee and everywhere in between, it's about a 22-mile strip of land between those 2 points. And pretty much all of it is lined with hotels and condo complexes, all offering you somewhere to sleep when you visit. And that's one of the main points that I think you need to think about when you're looking at staying off-site. Do you want somewhere just to rest your weary, exhausted head, or somewhere with more entertainment? Some of the off-site hotels offer water park complexes, whilst others are really more motel in style. Whether you're planning to drive or not will also play a big part in the location that you choose, although many of the hotels off-site will offer free shuttle buses to the main attractions. I had a look at which areas there are, and there are 3 main areas for off-site hotels. The first one is International Drive, and although the heyday of the 90s has passed, the strip of restaurants, bars and entertainment is still one of the most popular of the accommodation zones in Orlando, and that's mainly due to the central location between Walt Disney World and Universal. You can even walk out for dinner rather than getting in your car, and there are things like mini golf on the strip that you can go to. There are pharmacies, bars, coffee shops, all within an easy reach. And there's even a tram to transport you up and down iDrive. In 2015, the Icon Park opened with the Wheel, which is affectionately known as the Orlando Eye. And that's surrounded by some really good restaurants and shopping opportunities, and it's right on the edge of iDrive. So there's lots to do. Like Buena Vista is the area that's nearest to Walt Disney World. It encompasses the area around Disney Springs, where some of the best off-site hotels can be found. Just a short walk over the footbridge will find you at the Springs, and that's all at a fraction of the price of the on-site options, which are really just a couple of minutes drive away. And then Kissimmee is the third area that remains popular with lots of visitors. The 192 used to be synonymous with dodgy motels and not a lot of atmosphere, but this has changed in the last 10 to 15 years hugely with the construction of complexes like Bahama Bay, Reunion and Margaritaville. So it's condo heaven for those who want a bit more space and maybe a game of golf. So, fellow wafflers, what's been your experience off-site? I can only confess to staying off-site twice. One in 1990 when my dad was being cheap and we stayed in Altamont Springs, which is like, you might as well stay in Jacksonville. And then the other time, a couple of years later, we stayed in a hotel that's now been redeveloped at the top of iDrive, and it's definitely not a bad thing because it was a really dodgy one. It was near the Belts, what was the Belts factory outlet, and I'm sure there was bullet holes in the window. So that was my experience off-site. What about you guys?
We have stayed off-site, so
Is that because you don't drive?
yes, really, yeah.
And I think that's a really good call, because actually I think this is also, I think, something, if you haven't listened to the previous months of where we've looked at accommodation, I think this is a really big step on and a brave step on for many people, is when you go to that off-site bit, it cuts your costs so much.
Yeah.
But it has its own little idiosyncrasies. And I've got to say that whole thing there, and I think, Claire, you hit the nail on the head there in what you said. And I think for Peter and Jill, it's one of those things that it stopped people choosing different places, because it's the ability to walk to any amenities, be it for food, be it for entertainment, and be it even to some of those smaller parks and the mini golf, etc. It's a big thing, and I think that's where, I think for our listeners, what you need to do is sort out in your own mind the type of holiday that you want to have. And I know I've said it in past months, and I think as well, we would never ever tell anybody that one way is better than another, because I know for a lot of people, the off-site stay is their preferred method of actually visiting the parks and visiting Orlando. And I think throughout this conversation, I'll put that across, and I'll put it on the board that, anybody thinks that we're being unfair, because I think at times there will be an unfairness in the conversation when I get there. But I also think it is an invaluable way of keeping your costs completely down.
Yeah.
And I think my first bit for anybody who's never stayed off-site, and your first port of call has got to be TripAdvisor, and has got to be, you do your homework, you look at a map, you don't make the same mistake that Claire's dad did. Because
I don't think it was a mistake.
I think it was just way off. Way into where you would even think of going,
One of the advantages of staying in the Disney Springs area is that you can get the hotels that are cheaper, but still have some of the pluses and perks of being Disney.
Yeah. And I think that's the same for there are an array of hotels, not just the ones that are on that Hotel Boulevard area. That I can't recommend any names of hotels. I know there's a B Hotel, there's a Hilton, there's a Marriott, various places. But you've also got the Bonnet Creek resorts, which are within the footprint of Walt Disney World, but aren't owned by Disney, and count as an off-site hotel, but are within the driving complex of Disney.
Yeah.
And some of those, we've looked at different prices for them when we've looked, because some of them do suites, and they do sort of family suites, which have got a couple of bedrooms and a slightly bigger room, which suit some families. And they'd be really very cost effective. And yet you're still right there in the middle of Walt Disney World. So I think you're right that there's lots of really great hotels down there, Peter, and you're so close to Disney Springs. So if the availability of access to things is really good.
I think it's worth remembering that last time we went was obviously before Uber was really a thing. That makes a big difference now. Also, the rise of the resorts that are near Disney Springs and so on definitely has meant that we would look at those and we would have a think about those.
Because they're classed as good neighbour hotels, a lot of the Disney ones.
That's right, yeah.
Ones are offsite, they give you some of the perks. But we've stayed off-site 3 times. We've never had a car.
Right.
So did you use the transport that was laid on by the hotels?
The first 2 times.
The first 2 times we did,
The third time we used Uber. Because the shuttle times aren't always brilliant. A lot of the time they'll get you there. they'll stop at 3 or 4 different hotels and they'll get you there an hour after the park's opened, 2 hours after the park's opened.
Sometimes the only one
And-
before at the end of the day is when before the park's closed or before the fireworks, or it's like an hour after the park's closed. So you don't have that flexibility. So we decided to Uber on our third one.
Yeah.
And
Can I
it
ask you a
makes
question? On the shuttles from the hotels, am I right in thinking that you have to get them from the TTC? They're not allowed to go up to. So if you're going to the Magic Kingdom,
Magic Kingdom's the only one.
shuttles from the.
Only the Disney resorts to go to the one in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
So they're not allowed to drive. So obviously the Disney buses come in right in between the Contemporary and the turnstiles for Magic Kingdom. The bus garage there on the right hand side.
Same thing goes for Uber as well. So Uber have
Okay.
to drop you at TTC unless you request to go to the Contemporary and you can walk.
So that's worth bearing in mind when you are. So even as a Disney guest, if you're staying on site, they have to drop you at the TTC. So is that correct? If you're going from one of the Disney hotels, I don't know.
No, if you're if you use the resort bus from a Disney hotel, it will take you to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
But if you're using an off-site,
What if you're
bus,
Ubering from
if you Uber from a
Disney resort, to
it's still TTC.
Okay. So that's worth bearing in mind if you're going for a dining reservation or something like that. Actually, you need to build in the time that you need to get from the TTC to wherever it is you're going. And that presumably adds to that journey time if you're staying off site and you've waited for the bus and then you.
Yeah.
But then
it's like
Or monorail or ferry, and it's a thing to add on into it. I have to admit though, the price is what sold us for the Uber. Was we worked out how much it was to hire a car, and it was going to be about $600 for 2 weeks. In Ubers, we spent how much was it? About $240.
Right.
yeah, so you saved a lot of money, and staying off site you save a lot of money. I looked
And
at
that $600 didn't include parking either. That was just a car.
And
So
I think that, and I think Jill alluded to, and I think we said it in a couple of the shows as well, is that whole Uber has completely changed the game as regarding how you can actually access it. You're not in the realms of the shuttle people. You're not then being dictated to. You're not having to pay what I think has always been considered to be quite an excessive taxi charge as well, hasn't it? To get in and out of the parks. And I think that's where Uber and Lyft are actually able to offer something that I think for everybody makes some of these hotels that perhaps previously you've thought are a little bit further out a lot more reachable for each of the parks. And I think that's certainly part of the planning that would change it for me. And and in these days where you're paying for, obviously if you're staying off site, you're paying for Disney parking.
Yeah.
When you're going into the parks, which is used to, at the moment before they decide to put it up again, is $25. Yes, you might have a resort fee that you might have to pay, which I think in a lot of cases, and I think that's part of the planning process of looking at where you're staying. You may have a resort fee. A lot of places do. A lot of British people look at that and think, "Oh, I'm getting ripped off." It's just part of the way that they do it in America to try and keep costs down throughout the year. And I think you've got to be really careful as to not holding that against a place, because actually there's some really good places to stay. And if you have to pay a 7%, 8%, 10% resort fee, then you need to roll with it, don't you?
We paid a resort fee for our first one, and it was a bit confusing because we booked through Virgin Holidays, and on our first one, when we got there and we checked in, they didn't realise we were from Virgin Holidays, so they charged us a resort fee. On our second time that we went to the same hotel, we didn't have to pay it because of Virgin Holidays. So some hotels have sort of deals with travel agents, and whether you book direct with them or and sometimes you could go to the hotel themselves, book direct, and it was $24 a day resort fee.
Okay, so that's really worth noting, and people making sure that if they believe that the resort fee is included in their package because they booked through it, they show them to have your documentation to show that you booked through that package tour operator would be the answer.
And I think as well that shows up in an awful lot of TripAdvisor reviews that you read, that if certain places are being unfair, and I've read it about Disney and Universal hotels as well. So this isn't just particular to to off-site places. It's when places are not transparent with the pricing, either for parking, for whatever, then people will actually kick against it in their reviews on TripAdvisor. And again, start at the very top of TripAdvisor and see what people are saying about the places, and they might not be within your budget, but see what people are saying, because you actually begin to get a trend of location, resort fees, and basically how people have been treated. And it's a lot to actually do. It's a big ask, because you're in a way you feel as if you're taking a risk going outside the bubble. That Disney bubble, everything's meant to be always perfect and such like. But actually, it's the same. It is exactly the same, and you have the same rights as a consumer as you do within the Disney bubble, the Universal bubble. And I think this whole thought of it being off-site and on-site is actually one of those little things that Disney would like you to buy into a lot more.
Yeah,
and it's a
hotel at the end of the day, isn't it?
There are huge benefits to the site.
Bit of a trick.
And it's probably worth noting that if you do book for a travel agent, not all hotels will have the resort fee waived. It's usually only the ones that they're partnered with, friends with, whatever that particular estate calls it. It's travel agent.
I think also it's worth bearing in mind what works for you and your party. If you've got little ones and need to go back for a nap in the afternoon, then obviously you might want to be somewhere that you can reach easily. If you're open to close park people and you just want to be out first thing in the morning and not back to your room till midnight, then obviously that's a different thing. We tend to like to go back and have a rest at some point in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think that's we've always found it's been, when we stayed off site, it was purely a financial sort of thing we looked at. And it's just crunching the numbers. It's working out how much you're going to pay on a resort fee, how much is it going to cost me to get around if I don't have a car, how much a car is, how much it all is. And then working out actually if I want to stay on site at Disney for part of the trip, because that's the days I want to do at Disney. Sometimes doing the split stay may be a good option. But because that's what we did on our last off-site stay. We had a few days that because we bought into DVC that year, we had a few nights to spend there. And we just used Uber for the rest of it.
Yeah.
So we could get around. And being in the middle of iDrive meant that we were walking distance from Denny's, IHOP.
Exactly. And I think that's a benefit, isn't it? That you can actually walk to places, which generally isn't necessarily the way things work when you're in America. That usually you hop in the car and drive somewhere rather than just walk along the road, and you've got breakfast, you've got coffee, you've got mini golf if you want a lazy morning or afternoon. And I think that's some of the benefits of being in a hotel that's not inside Walt Disney World or the Universal bubbles that are at either end of the I-4 section in Orlando. I mean, I think that the cost effectiveness of staying off site really is a bit of a deal breaker for some people, because when I did a bit of research and I had a look on things like Virgin Holidays, I had a look at TUI, and there are so many hotels that are really rated extremely highly by their visitors and the guests that they serve and the people that are buying holidays from them. Actually, places that we've all heard of, the 1,000 different Rose and Inns that are somewhere in Orlando, they are all rated, 5 out of 5. Everyone loves them. So there's a lot of people who go and aren't, it obviously works for them. There's Cocoa Bay, which has got a huge water park area for kids. So if you're somebody who needs to keep the price, or you want to keep the price down so you can spend your money somewhere else, or you want to go and do Discovery Cove and therefore you're going to economize on the hotel and not stay in Disney, you're going to stay in a great hotel offsite for a little bit cheaper, and then you have more money to spend while you're there. Or you're someone who's been able to pull together the money to go, and therefore the money that you've got to spend on a hotel is less than perhaps you want to, or actually you don't want to be immersed in one or the other end of iDrive. You just want to be there and absorb what it's like to be in Orlando. And I think as a first-time visitor, that's quite often the situation before you know where everything is, because it's the unknown. Actually, there are really great options that you might think are substandard because they're cheaper. They're not. They're just different.
I think that's absolutely superb point, and I think there's probably going to be people listening to this, and they're probably going to tell us to shut up. Don't let everybody into the secret, because actually they're probably laughing at all the people who paid premium prices to stay in a Universal, to stay at Disney property, and they found a way. They probably found a travel agent who's got a deal that can set them up within a certain hotel chain, and they are able to get 14 nights in Orlando for a very, very reasonable price, and I think that's really where, you know, your point there, Claire, is absolutely spot on. You know,
and a lot of Disney perks also being reducing as well, like the Magical Express.
Exactly. So
one of those things everyone's going to have to think of how they're going to get from MCO to where they're staying. So it's
it's a changing landscape out there at the moment. The other thing that I thought of in terms of the hotels that aren't belonging to Disney or Universal, rather than saying also hotels, is there are a number of chains. So if you have Hilton Rewards account, for example, you can get a really great rate at any of the Hiltons in
the DoubleTrees as well.
This is it, DoubleTree, Hilton. There's so many. The whole and the Marriott's, all of those. Yeah. If you've got an account with them and you don't actually have to spend any money, you can just sign up for their reward account. You can get reduced rates, and you can also get free upgrades sometimes. Yeah. So I think it's worth just remembering that you can get a great deal for spending absolutely zero by signing up to some some of those things. It's like
the hotel we stayed in was DoubleTree by SeaWorld. And on before our most recent trip, we did when we stayed there. I did register for Hilton, and we've got points sort of sitting there.
You accrue points.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. Next time we do decide to stay on site, and we might go there again, is that we're going to get a benefit of a cheaper rate, and we don't have the resort fee to pay. And also, if you ever stay at DoubleTree, go to the front desk, and they will give you cookies
as many times as you like throughout your stay.
But the other thing is, if you accrue, you know, your Hilton points, if you're staying at an airport hotel in the UK before you travel, you can get benefits and reduced rates there as well. So there are significant opportunities to save yourself some cash, both in the US and at home by doing things like that.
Also, some off-site hotels do offer sort of free breakfasts.
They do.
So you get some buffets, some different options. I know we stayed at Clarion Inn, which we got an included breakfast for our first morning we were there.
Did we?
Yeah, it was included, and
we didn't use it.
Yeah, you didn't know.
We used it once.
We used it once, and we didn't go back.
Most of them you can grab a coffee. Quite often you can get a coffee and a pastry or a muffin, and it might only have been defrosted 2 hours beforehand. But if it's something to shove in your bag for when your kids are hungry at 10:30 and they've sat at breakfast and said, I've had enough and eaten nothing, and then 20 minutes later say, I'm starving. Not that I've ever been in that situation.
But unfortunately, the hotel we probably wouldn't go back.
Yeah.
That's the only one that we were unsure on.
You can grab something that's sitting there, shove it in your bag, and reproduce it later on to fill a hole in a small child's stomach.
Yeah,
that's that again is another cost-effective way of not having to pay for a Disney snack.
Yeah, can I add as well about the free accommodation, because I think a lot of us, certainly from the UK, you accrue flying miles or whatever whatever airline actually gives you, and we've stayed off site in hotels quite a lot. As I mentioned earlier in the show, I am tight. So if somebody's given me a program to join, and I've flown with an American Airlines actually did used to provide some really good value in their scheme, which actually allowed us to pick out sort of parts of a trip. If you were going, certainly for us, it was going for 3 or 4 weeks. And what we were able to do is spot little gaps within the trip, either between staying up towards Universal or wanting to have a night where we pick a hotel because a villa isn't available, or we're not planning on moving on to Disney property. And it fills a little gap, and it cost us nothing.
Yeah.
Well, it goes back to that thing, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
And what we did find that, there was... and I'm not going to name names. I think that's possibly really unfair because, and I think, the green pool the following morning at a certain hotel that we didn't pay for is possibly a little unfair because it was the middle of August, and yeah, even in the middle of anywhere, a green pool doesn't do it for me. But we didn't pay anything for it. So yeah, anyone's done it, send us an email. I'll tell you which ones not to go. But we stayed in a few, and the ones that you get on certainly in the American Airlines Air Miles bit, we knew we were pushing it. We were staying for one night. The other side is actually there's some bargains to be had if you start looking in towards places that actually have masses of accommodation. And so there's the likes of the Grand Vacations near Hilton Grand Vacations near SeaWorld. The place there was absolutely spot on. But there was like Orange Lake, which is a Holiday Inn vacations resort. And all of these resorts, I think we stayed at Cypress Point Resort, which I looked at the past couple of days. And it works out £71 a night to stay there. But you get everything that somebody who's bought into the timeshare part of these resorts. But when they're empty, there is a management company that will allow you to, to buy it as a hotel room, and you're not in a hotel. You're within a suite, or you're within accommodation, which actually is exceptionally good at a very low price, and it's maybe something we've not really touched on before. I think
it's a legal requirement for timeshare to have percentage of the rooms available.
Yeah.
So we have that with DVC as well.
And there's some value. There's value to be had there as well, though, Ben. What I would do, I did a little bit of digging because I'm a bit, I'm interested in all of this, and I'm interested in trying to make my next trip to the Magic as good as it possibly can be. My very first trip was to Orange Lake, which is an RCI resort, which is set up very similar to the Disney. You buy your time and stuff like that, and actually the numbers involved there are very similar. But actually, if you bought at Orange Lake at the time, what I've been told is you have it, and you have it for life, and you can pass it on when you die, and it's part of your will, which is quite an interesting scenario, and maybe changes people's perceptions of it, of some of the things we've spoken about before. But the facilities in these places, lazy rivers, a range of different pools, and yet they're looking at £120 a night for a 2-bedroomed accommodation. And I'm thinking, it's absolutely amazing. We'd stayed in a place at the Crown Plaza at the top of I Drive, which is close to Universal. I think we stayed there for about 2 or 3 nights and did Universal from there. But it was an amazing place because we got a beautiful room. The view from it, you could see the Epcot fireworks and the Magic Kingdom fireworks. And admittedly in the distance, I would add, before anyone comes back to it.
Like John with his telescope, just like...
But places like that exist, and I think, we had a fabulous stay there. Every time we drive past it, I go, we really enjoyed that. But there's something for everyone. And again, just look at different places to actually get the right hotel for you. There's no right or wrong, but I would honestly say that some of those resorts that have got timeshare as a wider part of their offering have got some real bargainous places that you don't even need to do Disney or Universal. You could actually stay on site. You could enjoy the golf. You can enjoy the pools. And you can just enjoy exactly what they've got to offer. And I think that's really, really important that people understand that, because from our perspective, this whole off-site bit within Orlando goes from, and I don't know if anyone's ever watched My Name is Earl, and the motel on My Name is Earl, if you haven't, just Google it, is not very pretty. You go from that bit where you park your car right outside your hotel, or motel door, and you pay your price there.
And you hope the car's still there the next day.
Very possibly. And then you also go to those higher range hotels that we all drive past that have got like 15 golf courses involved in it. And one's got a dodgy name, which I won't say because it always makes me giggle. And I'm not going to say it tonight because I don't think it's very fair on people, because I don't think it's right.
Is it something palms?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to say. I'm on my best behaviour tonight. But also, what I would say, if those deluxe places are places that you look at and you think, I can do 2 nights there and I can give my family the most amazing extra into the holiday, they're worth looking at because there are bargains to be had, and particularly from the UK, if you go through a UK-based company, Virgin and BA, I would say particularly offer very, very good deals on hotel rooms.
Yeah.
You can actually you can pick yourself something up that's really worth. It just adds that little bit something different into your Orlando plan.
And I think you're right, John. And there are certainly ways to save money. And I was just I was looking down a minute ago when you were talking. It's not because you were boring. I was just double checking my information.
Thanks.
That no, I think it's important to get the right information. So I was just checking that if you are somebody who shops at Tesco's, you can actually use your Tesco Club Card points to against hotels.com. So you can book your hotel in Orlando and subsidise that with Tesco Club Card points, and you get triple the amount per point. So, £5 in hot Club Card points is going to give you 15 quid in a hotel. So actually, if you store up your Club Card points for a little while, you can subsidise your hotel costs that way. So there are certainly, in terms of being a non-Disney or Universal hotel, there are probably significantly greater opportunities to save money than when you're staying on site, because the price is the price. And you might find the odd, 50 quid here or there that's different, but you're not going to get much deviation away from that.
Yeah, I think when you're sort of doing numbers and working out sort of what your budget is, where you're staying, if you do choose off-site, and if Disney do bring back annual passes, it might be worth one member of the party buying one, because that includes your sort of parking.
Yeah.
So just have one member that do that can work out, and then you get discount for food, merchandise. So there are ways and means around it. That might be a way of saving money on your next trip.
Yeah,
so there you are.
I actually feel it is one of them ones, and I did say it earlier, is the fact that there's probably people who've done this for every Disney trip that they've been on, and they're laughing at us who stay on site, and they're thinking you're being ripped off. Yeah. And I'm with you there, and I can understand where those people are coming from, because I really do feel that there's opportunities, and for us, we've even stayed in the hotel at the airport because it just fitted better with our complete trip. And so, for anyone who's thinking of split staying or thinking of doing something else, picking a 2-3 night hotel stay, it just opens your idea to what's actually out there. And like I say, there's loads of them. There's actually quite a lot of money you can actually trim out of the trip as well.
I was just going to throw in one little thing at the end here, which is a tip that I've used now 3 times, which is if we have booked flights particularly to MCO from the UK. So going into Orlando International, we have priced up the flights in isolation. And then we have priced up the flights as a package with the cheapest hotel that company offers. So whether that be Virgin, BA, whoever. And oddly, a couple of times it's been the Red Lion, which is probably the hotel that is the nearest to the entrance to World Drive. It's the one on the 192 that's opposite Bob Evans, literally just as you're about to turn onto World Drive. To actually book a package with the hotel, the car, and the flights was cheaper than the flights alone. And in addition to that, at the moment, it's a bit of a no-brainer. We didn't stay in that hotel. Actually, we checked in, got the key to the room, and actually, my cousin and her husband came down and used the hotel for a couple of nights while and I think it's worth just exploring that option as well. The other thing that it offers is because you're booking a package deal, you have that ABTA guarantee around a package, so that if something happens, you get your money back and you are guaranteed a refund. Whereas with flights, they just have to give you a voucher. So do check that option, that sometimes by booking the package, you think there's no way it'll be cheaper. That's ridiculous. Why would it be cheaper? It can be, which is crazy.
Can also add very quickly to that, Claire, as well, if you book a flight and a car hire, it counts as a package.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
think, you know,
And the same as a car and a hotel.
I think that type of protection in this day and age, you know, who knows who knows what happens? Because to be honest, I don't know what's happening next week. So, to actually have that particular security,
exactly,
invaluable.
That's why I thought I'd just throw it in there because
you could do it with flights and tickets.
Yeah.
Yes,
because we were offered that with Virgin Holidays when we were doing our sort of first DVC, and I was like, well, if you wanted the protection, you can do the tickets for us as well, and it gives you the same, because it's a package. It's just has to be more than one part of your holiday.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think it's really worth people, for wherever you're staying, remembering that obviously things are fluctuating at the moment significantly. So if you're thinking of booking for later this year or even next year, sometime the year after, do look at booking more than one component with your travel company, because then you are guaranteed your safety from ABTA. And that surely is worth the effort to book those two components or more with the same company.
Can I add the Martin Lewis advice on that as well? Make sure you pay with a credit card.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The credit card company will cover that as well. Don't ever just pay on your debit card thinking, oh, it's just that's what I was paying for. Put it on your credit card. The credit card companies will take care of you, and they will ensure that you get back monies whether things go wrong, and you've got a little bit more protection. But the ABTA protection is the one on a package that really does stand true, and it's UK based. It's not anything else. It's down to UK operators.
The thing we've got to say, because of credit card, we're not recommending you get a credit card which would lead you to get into debt. We're just recommending a credit card for protection.
No.
So it's up to your choice to make the financial decision.
And if you're going to use a credit card, make sure you pay it, of course.
Sorry, we have to say that now.
We do. But there you are. So there we are, in terms of staying outside of the Disney or Universal bubbles or SeaWorld bubble. There is so many opportunities to save a bit of cash and also get a fantastic resort that may make your holiday better.
Yeah, you might go from saying 7 days on site at Disney, but you could do a 21-day trip.
Exactly.
With the money you save, you can have a bigger and better holiday.
Yeah.
So cool. Do your research, basically.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
That's been the same with all of these. Do your homework.
Do your homework. We're getting our listeners
That's the
busy.
fun bit.
So,
That's the fun bit, isn't it? The planning.
yeah.
I mean, I think when you've been once maybe and you've done your holiday of a lifetime, never doing it again, go once and go, okay, when are we coming back? Which seems to happen to a lot of people. I think if you've done that once and you know how the things are laid out and you know where things are, then you feel more confident and more secure to do that research yourself. I think quite often, and I've spoken to friends who are going for their first ever trip and they just want to book a package and someone else do that because they don't know. I would say that actually, if any of our listeners don't know, do reach out to us, because we are more than happy to help you. Yeah. We're not offering any professional holiday planning, but we've got a lot of experience. And if you want to drop us an email or contact us on socials, please go ahead. We love talking about it. We'll chew your ear off. Yeah.
And equally, there is sources out there that you can have a look online. You can ask your questions online, even if, and probably all of us are on the same sources as well. But I think as well, and I think that's so good, Claire, is the fact that whole first trip, I think you have so many regrets about, one, how much it cost you, and secondly, it's like your use of either tickets or time, or you ended up in the wrong part of Orlando, and it comes with experience. And I've got to say, it's, I'm going to say it again. That's 3 times tonight. I'm tight. I'm not going to give me money away to people who are charging the same price as another place online or another place. It has to be the right deal for me. And if that means a hotel has got it on their own website, if they've got it via a UK,
third-party booking agent,
UK Expedia doesn't charge the same price as the US Expedia, and you start looking around and you can get really sort of tied up in it all. But actually, the price has got to be right for you, and you choose your price, and then never look back. Never look back again and say, oh, I could have saved 20 quid there or whatever. Sure holiday, you booked it, and then go and enjoy it. Don't think about how much it cost. You can think about that when you come home.
Just think about the countdown. Just put the countdown in your app. Look forward to when you go in.
Spot on.
Yeah. So, thank you, everyone. I think we've shown over the past few shows that there's definitely accommodation for everyone, which fits a variety of budgets. So next month, we'll have a quick recap over what we've discussed and see what happens when we compare them all. So as we come to the end of this month's waffling, I'd just like to mention a few things that we've been up to. So all our live shows that we've been doing on YouTube and Facebook are now available on all our podcast platforms. We've got a plethora of guests lined up to take part in our Share a Waffle series, which will be out in the middle of every month. And if that's not enough, you can catch up with us on our new weekly live show and on Facebook and YouTube, and it's called Wafflers Wednesday. So we hope you really enjoy what we've been working on and can provide some escape and a Disney fix while we're all in lockdown. Let's stay positive, as there's light at the end of the tunnel and a castle waiting for us when this is all over. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at gbmickeywaffle, or use our email address, which is themickeywaffle@gmail.com. There's only one thing left to say, and that is waffle on.
Waffle on!